Next for District 207. The first candidate will be Jill Dolan.
Thank you, Republican Women of Park Ridge, and all of you folks for this opportunity. My name is Jill Dolan, and I am running for the School Board of Maine Township High School District 207. I own my own online sales business. I spent years doing budgeting for the broadcast TV production industry. I have 2 children at Maine South High School. Both of them attended Field Elementary and Emerson Middle Schools. A friend of mine gave me a copy of a news clipping from about 1975, which identifies Maine South as the #1 high school in the entire country. The #1 in the whole United States. However, when U.S. News and World Report last ranked public high schools in 2014, Maine South was ranked 27th, but only in the state of Illinois. It was all the way down at 623rd in the country, with Maine East and Maine West trailing far behind. Neighbors, that's not acceptable to me, either as a parent of Maine South students or as a Maine Township taxpayer. And I have to believe that it's not acceptable to the vast majority of Maine Township residents who moved here for the schools and pay the taxes they pay for a lot better product than they're getting. That's why I'm running for District 207 School Board. As a parent, I understand how important it is today for our children to get the best education the community can afford. And as a taxpayer, I understand how important it is today for our schools to provide the most educational bang for our bucks, just as our children are in an educational competition with their peers in other school districts. Our home values, most people's single biggest asset, are in competition with homes in other communities. Recently, I was approached by a woman who was born and raised here in Park Ridge. She got married, had children who went to our public schools, and she's now retired. And her greatest fear today is being forced out of her longtime home and out of this community because she can no longer afford her property taxes. How do we convince someone like her she's getting value from those increasing taxes she's paying when the educational ranking of District 207's top school continues to decline? The only way to do it is make our schools great again, and that means electing school board members who won't meekly accept a stagnant or declining educational ranking, while just as meekly endorsing ever-increasing teacher and administrator salaries. I have no problem paying for performance, but for underperformance is a disservice to our children and our taxpayers. For this situation to improve, everyone associated with school board or school district 207 must recommit to excellence in everything they do. The only way parents and taxpayers will know whether they are getting our recommitment to excellence is through total transparency. Everything that District 207 does, especially at the board and administration levels, needs to occur in bright sunlight under a magnifying glass, with information distributed well enough in advance for people to react and respond if they question it. There are 3 seats on the District Board 207 board that need to be filled. I humbly and respectfully ask you to vote for me to fill one of them. Please vote for Jill Dolan. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jill. Next up will be Teri Collins.
You can hear better if I do this. Hi, I'm Teri Collins, and first of all, I'd like to thank the Republican Women of Park Ridge for hosting this tonight. It's a great opportunity to meet everybody. My name is Teri Collins. I'm a newcomer to the whole campaign thing, so I just thought I would tell you a little bit about myself and give you an idea where I've come from. I'm a Park Ridge resident. I've been living in Park Ridge and a Park Ridge taxpayer for 24 years. I'm a mother of a Maine South grad and a current junior in Maine South, and wife to Peter Cato for 25 years. So that's an accomplishment. Right now, I'm the executive director of Maine Community Youth Assistance Foundation, or MCAF. It's a 501c3 corporation, and we do the prevention of adolescent drug and alcohol abuse, and we do the promotion of positive mental health for teens in Maine Township. So every day, I work with teachers and staff and students in Maine Township, and I'm out in the community or in one of the schools almost every day. Prior to this position, I've acquired a tremendous amount of experience, almost 30 years of experience in administration, financial planning, budget management, laboratory and facility planning and management, human resources, safety, industrial relations, as well as compliance with federal and state agencies. I got this experience through a couple of positions. I was the director of academic operations for Northwestern University Department of Chemistry, where I was on the lecturer faculty and responsible for 600 graduate students and several extremely picky professors. And I also retired actually from Abbott Laboratories and worked for Schering Plough Corporation. And so I taught, which actually is now Merck. I have a PhD in organic chemistry, and I've taught at the college and high school levels. And I can't tell you how much I have a passion for kids and for education. That is my passion. That's why I'm doing this now. It's something that it means the world to me. If you don't have a good education, you have nothing. And there's nothing else that you can do. I also wanted to tell you that my insight into human nature comes from working the midnight shift at Dunkin' Donuts across from Reed Mental Institution in the summer of 1974. So I learned a lot about human nature during that job. I'm creative, I work hard, and I'm a team player. I'm really good at solving problems, and I have a great work ethic. I have been active in the community and the schools over the years. I've seen Jim at every single football game and basketball game and soccer. And so I've been out there, and I've been a Cub Scout leader, Girl Scout leader, and I founded the Blanket of Dreams at Mary Seat of Wisdom. And I know that I could do a really good job. I know that I can solve problems when they come up, but I'm really creative too. And it's not just good enough to say no all the time. You have to figure out what's the alternative. How do you make things better? And so if you please vote for me, and I'll do a good job, and I'll talk to you too.
Thank you, Teri. Next up is Sean Sullivan.
Couldn't be here tonight. Okay.
Next up is Paula Bessler.
Can everyone hear me? I'm the youngest of 6 children, so I have a loud voice. Are you okay? I'd rather stand in front of the podium than behind it. My name is Paula Bessler, and I am running for District 207 School Board. I've been had the honor of serving on the school board for the past year, and are very proud of the accomplishments that me and my fellow school board members have done. My husband and I have been residents of Park Ridge for our entire life. I have had the benefit of District 64, District 207, and when my husband and I first got married, we searched all over the communities, north, northwest, south, and then we kept comparing it to Park Ridge, which we had called Action Ridge when we were growing up. And we swore we would never come back, and we kept comparing it to here. And we came back to Park Ridge for 2 reasons. Because the schools were outstanding and the faith communities were uncomparable to anywhere else. And we came here, and that's a decision we never regret. We have 4 children we have raised through Park Ridge one's in 64 still, one's in 207, and 2 are graduated and on to college. And it's been my honor to be able to raise them here, but then also I got to leave I was a managing partner in my law firm, and I got to leave that to come and serve and work in Park Ridge and get even more ingrained in this outstanding community. I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm a school board member here. That Lori Hines, the new superintendent of 64, is asking me to serve on the strategic planning committee, because there's important work is being done there along the Baldrige criteria, bringing the national Baldrige criteria to education. And that's what we're all doing about process and improving our kids' education and the metrics that we're using for our kids. In my last year of the school board, I've been a part of some initiatives that were initiated before me, but I got to vote on. In fact, and it's been brought up with every school member here, and what's on every member's mind here, or person's mind here, is taxes and the levies, and are we getting money back, or how are we spending our taxes? And the school board, one of the most important things we can do is take care of your money in the right way, while providing a great environment for our kids to learn the best they can and get them ready for college for their next step of life. And the school board has been very fiscally responsible and will continue to be fiscally responsible with the taxpayers' money. And in fact, by proving it, the last 2 years in a row, we have voted for a tax abatement back to the taxpayers, and that's unprecedented in any school district in our surrounding community. We continue to stress the excellence of our teachers. We have given them individual coaching plans. We have tied their salary to the consumer price index. We're very careful. We've negotiated one of the most tax-friendly teacher contracts in 2012 and recently that any district within the surrounding area. And so we are very proud of the work we've done, and we would like to continue it. What's very important is we have a very diverse community, and our schools are one of the honors I've had at being Director of Community Health Relations at Advocate Lutheran General, and having the opportunity to work with the community and serve the needs of the community, is look at the diversity of our populations and work with our diverse students. And I think that's very critical. It's something District 207 does very well, but it's something we have to continue to monitor and make sure the excellence, so there's excellence for all. So on April 7th, I would ask that you can keep the school board as it is for the great work we're doing, and to continue it, and to vote for Paula Bessler, Sean Sullivan, Pablo Morales. And I have the brown, what I call Tuscany flyer on the tables, and when I was so excited to show my mother-in-law, she said, "Brown?" And I said, "It's Tuscany, Mom." So let's vote for Paula Bessler on April 7th. Thanks.
Thank you, Paula. All right, up next is Pablo Morales.
Thank you to the Republican Women of Park Ridge for giving me a few moments to talk to you about continuing on the District 207 School Board as an existing member. A little bit about me. I am married. My wife's name is Celine. I have 2 teenage sons, Gabriel and Daniel, sophomore and junior at Maine South High School. So college applications are coming just around the corner for me. I have worked most of my adult life in a hospital. I worked 10 years at what was called Children's Memorial Hospital, 10 years at the University of Chicago Hospital, and I've had the pleasure of working the past 5 years at Walgreens based out of Deerfield. I am a senior manager for implementations of products and services, and what that basically means is I take challenging situations, I take difficult and complex problems, and I lead a team that identifies innovative, creative, practical solutions to those problems and implements them across 8,200 stores across the United States and in Puerto Rico. I take that same lens as a member of the current school board as we identify complex issues, complex problems, and try to really come up with innovative, creative, practical, and win-win solutions for everybody. And I think the school board has done an excellent job of that. My foray into 207 began 3 years ago when I was a member of the Superintendent's Advisory Council, which is really a group of 25 to 30 people who meet quarterly with the superintendent, and they hear his thoughts, his views, and his plans for District 207, give him feedback as members of the community, and in addition, we served as the voice of the community for him, or one of the voices of the community. So as people had issues, problems, questions, they would reach out to one of us as the advisory council. We would reach out to Dr. Wallace, who is always very responsive in getting back to the parents, the teachers, whoever it may have been. Last August, an opportunity opened up. There was an opening on the school board. I was one of 6 candidates that interviewed for the position, and fortunately, I was selected as a member. So I have been on the school board since August of last year, again running for another term in April of this, in April. 3 things are very important to me from an educational perspective for District 207. Number 1, world-class education, what I would classify as a world-class education for our students. I really want 207 to be a destination district, not a place where students leave because they don't receive a quality education, but where people move into the district because they want an excellent education. Secondly, in order to do that, you need the best teachers possible. So I want teachers that are well qualified, that do an excellent job, that have the tools that they need to educate our students. And that's been evident in the past 7 years. District 207's ACT scores, the average over the past 7 years have been the highest in its history. For Maine South, in the past 5 years, the ACT scores have averaged the highest in Maine South's history. Finally, as a steward, as a taxpayer, it's very important for me to make sure that we are good stewards of District 207's taxpayer money. And that has been evident, as Paula has mentioned, by the tax abatement that the school board has done over the past 2 years. I can't take credit for that, but it's something I strongly believe in and will continue to work for as a member. So I would also encourage you on April 7th to vote for Paula Bessler, Sean Sullivan, and Pablo Morales. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Pablo. Our last candidate for District 207 is Chimanlal Patel.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Republican Women of Park Ridge, for inviting me to speak today. My name is Chimanlal Patel. I am standing for the election as a board member for Maine Township High School District 207. I live in Niles and with my wife for last 30 years. I have one son, Devanshu Patel, and one daughter, Diti Patel. Both went to the local public school and both graduated from Maine South High School. My son got a BS degree from University of Chicago and law degree from University of Pennsylvania. My daughter got a BS and MBA degree from University of Chicago. The reason I am mentioning this one is that I believe that their highest educational achievement is possible due to the highest educational standard of Maine Township School District. And therefore I decided to help the Maine Township High School District through my education and experience over 30 years in finance and accounting. I have an MBA degree from Roosevelt University and my wife has a master's degree in chemistry. I have more than 30 years of experience in business and financing. I am working as a financial controller from last 30 years in the major company, large scale company. I am a self-made entrepreneur for multiple hospitality business. I have about 6 hotels in Michigan, which I manage by doing the full-time job also. I am proud that the progress District 207 has made and want to help them path towards the excellent education for all students. I believe that all students, no matter their background, are able to achieve at the highest level. It is the time and resources that need to be adjusted, not the expectation of our students. Maine East, Maine South, and Maine West are the excellent schools in very different student profile. I believe we need to ensure that all schools are increasingly achievement level and examining best practice to constantly improve support to their student bodies. On the pension and teachers' pay, I motivate high-performing teachers and administrators. We need to think about ensuring incentive system that draw and keep the best in our district. Having come from the financial background, I believe that a good retirement package, incentive for the performance, and high-performing culture will ensure we have the best teachers. Though I am not a teacher, not an educational expert, I am well vested in managing a large organization. I know that to get the best outcome, you need to use to find out internal and external experts, test solutions, measure progress, and be ready to invest and de-invest based on the data. This is the approach I believe we should take in our district. I know that we have three high school. Main East has 1,800 students, Main West has 2,100 students, and Main South has 2,400 students. So altogether, we have a 6,300 students, and with a different cultural background. So it is our duty that we should give the opportunity to each and every student to achieve their best level possible. Thank you very much.
I'd like to bring up Linda Slipke to talk about our city council candidates. We have 4 wards, odd number wards that we're going to be announcing, and each have a 4-year term. And we have one incumbent in the 5th ward, but we have the 1st and 3rd ward, which we'll be introducing. And Marty Maloney from the 7th ward will not be able to join us tonight.